We have an absolute feast.
Despite how beautiful this area is, so few people live here full time. Good morning from our guest house in Theth.
It's 7 AM, so we're just sitting down to breakfast and trying to figure out what we're going to do today.
The weather forecast is not looking very promising.
There's no coffee, but there is homemade tea. In fact, literally everything is homemade here, from the cheese to the jam to the bread to the butter. It all looks really good. After a really good breakfast, we've just left our guest house and we've decided that we're going to do the hike that we planned today.
Izzy is still struggling with her knee after the hike yesterday, and there's supposed to be quite a lot of rain later on. It has cleared up for now, so we decided to chance it today. But if either Izzy's knee gets worse or the rain starts coming down too heavily, we will have to turn back. So we're not making too many promises as to how long this video is going to be, but fingers crossed they're both okay.
We've not gotten off to the quickest start. We've got 30 seconds down the road and then realised that my walking stick, which would be very helpful for my knee, is still at the guest house. So Dale's ran back to get it for me. Hopefully this will make going downhill a lot easier.
Here you go.
Thank you. You okay?
Tired.
You didn't have to run. Why did you run?
I don't know. Why did I run? Okay, let's go. We're just down by the river near where we're staying, and Izzy seems to have made a new friend.
And it's a dog, not a cat.
I know.
Maybe I like marbles. It's so pretty by this river that I could sit here all day, but we are doing a walk, so we have to get a move on. And I'm sure there are lots of other beautiful spots that we'll see as well. Look at all those dogs!
Those are goats, Izzy.
Goats, I meant goats. Even better, goats are cute. We came to a fork in the road and we weren't sure which way to go, but we followed the trail markings which told us to go up, even though common sense made us think that we were supposed to keep along the river, along the downward path. But the trail has now taken us here, and there is a trail arrow telling us to go down there. Somehow I don't think that's the way.
This looks like it might be the right way. We think that the old trail just collapsed and they haven't updated the markings since then. So down we go. As much as we're enjoying our hike along the river, Izzy's knee is unfortunately getting a bit worse. Rather than pushing it too far and her getting a serious injury, we're going to stop and have a rest.
Luckily, we found an absolutely beautiful spot where we can climb down right next to the river, and we really want to show you what it looks like.
after a couple of hours at what is a very beautiful river, we're heading back to the village.
We're both crashing after our long hike yesterday, so we might explore some more stuff on the way. Then again, we might not. But we are definitely going to show you our guest house because it is adorable. We've had a shower after our hike and it's nearly time for dinner.
But before we eat, we thought we'd quickly show you around our guest house.
This is our room. It's pretty basic but super cozy, and I love all of the wood detailing. But the best thing about it is the view. Coming down the stairs is the main room where you can hang out. There's a big long table and a really cozy stove where they make a fire in the evenings. We sat here last night and played cards and it was really toasty. This is the outdoor seating area where we had breakfast this morning. It faces the same way as our bedroom window, so you get unobstructed views of the mountains.
It's just started hammering it down outside, so we've come inside to play some cards whilst we wait for dinner. We were also just talking to the daughter of the family that lives here, and she was explaining to us that over the winter months the roads up to Theth are completely impassable, which basically means that 4 to 5 months of the year the people who live here can't leave and nobody can get to them. It really explains why, despite how beautiful this area is, so few people live here full time.
Just like last night, we have an absolute feast, which is really good to come home to after a long hike. It's different from last night, but we have rice, chicken, lots of different vegetables, homemade chips, bread and cheese, and these amazing fritters, which our host last night said are made out of pumpkin and spinach. They're so good. The best thing about the food here is that our host makes everything herself. She makes the cheese, she churns the butter, and obviously these. We're gonna dig in and we'll see you in probably like an hour or something. We're gonna take our time with this.
The last couple of days have been incredibly tiring, but I think it's pretty safe to say it's been worth it. We're leaving Theth tomorrow morning to head back to Skoda to pick up our big bags. Then we've got a couple of border crossings until we reach Serbia.
So, we'll see you tomorrow for a couple of very long travel days.
It really explains that, oh God, I can't get it in my head.